So it's 3, 2, 1. We are live now, sir. Over to you.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Life Pharma Coalition LPC-95. As you all know, Life Pharma Coalition is a platform of learning and sharing for pharmaceutical professionals. And we are happy to share that today we are at 95th episode with all the support and encouragement from eminent speakers across the industry and also continuous encouragement by viewers. So very shortly, we are going to celebrate 100th episode of Life Pharma Coalition. We are excited, and I hope all of you are excited to be a part of LPC 100, which will be a grand celebration of our completion of 100 episode. It is the support of each one of you that we are able to achieve this platform. Now, come to this episode, LPC 95. Let me share with you the presentation, a brief overview of LPC, and then we'll go. Yes. So as you know, LPC today is having around 30 members who are continuously dedicated themselves to bring it a global platform of learning and sharing. We are humble and we are grateful to each and every speaker who has come here and shared his or her view on various challenges and best practices of pharmaceutical industry. So thank you very much, all the speakers. As you know, we have 5 episodes. Week 1 dedicated to leadership, week 2 dedicated to global, week 3 dedicated to young, week 4 dedicated to academic and manufacturing, and week 5 is dedicated to women leadership. Not only that, it is a journey which is started 2 years back, and today we have around 28 executive members in different week who are selflessly contributing to create a global learning and development platform. As of now, 20,000 Facebook page reached, 5,000 engagement, and 2,000 LPC YouTube subscriber we have already reached, and it is growing day by day. We have now LPC 3 model, LPC first, which is online learning and sharing model, LPC second, that is a mentorship program for registered member of LPC, and LPC third is collaboration with the pharma and healthcare professional to bring about the change in industry. LPC mentorship program, which happens every 3rd week of Sunday evening 5 to 7, where it is an internal program where we mentor our registered member on various aspects of communication, public speaking, emotional intelligence, leadership, etc. So we invite you all to join that. And with that, we also are delighted to invite you all to become a part of LPC as a registered member. You can be a part of LPC as a speaker, as a panelist, as a session sponsor, as a mentor, and be a part of mentor program. In case you want to join LPC and contribute in learning and sharing platform, please reach to us. These are some credentials we have. You can talk to Raman, Yashwant, ICS, Arpan, and Praveen, or you can also send your request on email to lifepharmacoalition@gmail.com. So we are looking forward to associate with each one of you to build a collaborative society in pharma industry. So block your date, Life Pharma Coalition LPC 100th episode on 20th March 2022. So we are going to have a grand celebration on LPC 100th episode, and we are looking forward to meet each one of you physically or virtually. It will be a hybrid mode, and we will look forward to get a great celebration and take LPC to the next level. We are thankful to our session partner, Imagica Health, for sponsoring this session. Imagica Health is exploring the interaction between designing, health technology, and content marketing for leading brands. They serve pharmaceuticals for bettering customer engagement, bringing patient centricity, improving control on sales team, and increasing the return on the investment for various marketing campaigns. So thank you very much, Imagica Health, for being a part of LPC Live Pharma Coalition. And now come to this episode, today's episode, LPC 95. We have our eminent speaker, Mr. Sumanta Chaudhary, Marketing and Strategy Consultant, and Shubhra Pillai ma'am, who is AGM, Regulation Coordination, Cadila Pharmaceutical, and the topic is International Pharma Regulatory Environment. With that, I would like to hand over session to my colleague Praveen Pandey to take it further. Praveen, over to you.
Thank you, sir, and very warm morning to all viewers, panelists, and speakers. I am Praveen Pandey, offering 15 years experience in pharma industry and very balanced in international as well as domestic. I had worked with Cipla, Cadila, Fosun Pharma, Aspen, Shelley's, and presently I am holding a designation of DGM in Export House, that is Graco Pharmaceutical Limited, looking after African market, Asian, Latin America, and Middle East. So once again, thank you. Today's topic is really a base for all pharmaceutical companies. It could be domestic, it could be international. But yes, today we are here to talk about international pharma regulatory part. So to stand any company, to register any company, to initiate any business in pharma industry, or including even a neighbor country, we have to follow some rules that comes under regulatory part, starting from plant inspection to dossier submission, then product registration, then renewal. It's total journey of pharma regulatory. So of course we are going to learn from two eminent speakers. Here I would like to give a small introduction about Sumanta sir and Subra madam. Sumanta sir, oh my god, it's 52 years experience in pharma industry, which is I think 90% of our viewers are lesser than his experience age. This is the fact, and of course we are going to learn many things from him. Sumanta sir has worked with IPCA, he has worked with Leica, he has worked with Pfizer. With IPCA, he was as a managing director also for Nigeria, and with IPCA only, he was a vice president for export formulation for African market as well as Middle East. So welcome, Sumanta sir. If we'll go with Subra madam, she is offering 20 years plus experience. She also has been based in overseas, and she has worked with different companies like Dr. Reddy's, Novartis, Aspen Shelley's. Presently, she is handling NPD products and regulatory coordinator as AGM in Cadila Pharmaceuticals Limited, based in Ahmedabad. So welcome you both. I would like to hand over session to Sumanta sir to take a small 1-minute discussion on today's topic. Thank you, sir. It's up to you.
Once again, good morning to all of you. I am really thankful to LPC for doing a great job for not only for pharma industry, but for those who are still thinking how to enter into this market, international market. I have got the feedback that they are learning a lot, and I must thank the team of LPC, those who are in front of me and those who are behind, that they are doing an excellent job. And please keep it up. And your effort shows that you are reaching 100 episodes. That itself speaks for your great effort and success. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. To Subra madam, about today's topic.
Okay, thank you. First and foremost, good morning, viewers. Thank you, LPC, for giving me second chance to come here and impart my knowledge about regulatory and all. Today, I'll be talking in a very basic terms and terminologies that we deal with in regulatory, basically the nitty-gritty of regulatory environment across the globe. So that will be my topic for speaking today.
Great. So we will proceed with further discussion, and From here, I would like to hand over this session for next 10-15 minutes to Subhra madam, and we would like to learn different things for different market. Definitely some questions will be raised that will choose from Facebook, YouTube, and some question which we are getting on Facebook. I'm sorry, on WhatsApp. That also would be shared on screen. So session is handed over to you, madam. We would love to hear you from here.
Thank you so much, Praveen. Like in my past session, I have already discussed about how to register your product, how to go inside the export market. Without registration, nothing is possible to market in export market. It is not as easy as we do in India. The processes, the licenses, the authorities, those are who are issuing the licenses, the documents that are required, the timelines for getting all the certificates and all. These things were discussed in my past session, including the importance of trademark, product permission, everything was discussed. Now, what exactly regulatory does in international market? What exactly is their prime responsibility? Basically, they are the one who are preparing the dossiers. Dossiers is basically purely technical documents that talks about your product, medicinal product, that will be approved, marketed in the country where you intend to sell. Okay, so the dossiers that are compiled are basically in CTD format. CTD is Common Technical Document, is the full form of CTD. Okay, CTD documents, as I told, is having 5 modules basically. Module 1 talks about actually the administrative information is there. It is it is basically as per the country requirement. It contains a part of SPC, which is the product characteristics. It talks about the pharmacovigilance system that is in place in the company. It also talks about the artwork and the mock. It contains mock-up artwork as well in that module. Okay. Now comes the module 2, which is basically the quality overall summary. It talks this module is having summary and overview of all the other 3 modules, like module 3, 4, and 5, which contains non-clinical and clinical summary. So module 2 is basically nothing, but it is summary and the overview of all other 3 modules. Now comes the module 3, which is the most important module, and it talks about the drug substance, drug product, and the appendix and the reference material that has been used. Okay, so module 3 is very important, and it is the quality module, known as quality module. Now comes module 4, which is non-clinical module. Non-clinical modules talks about pharmacology, pharmacokinetics, and then the list of references that has been used is in module 4. Now, the last module is module 5. Module 5 is basically a report of all the BA/BE studies that have been taken for this product. It also talks about the PK/PD report studies. It also talks about the safety efficacy studies. It talks about all the literatures that has been taken, individual patients detail that has been taken into consideration the study. So module 5 is basically containing BA/BE PK report. To further elaborate, I'll pause the sharing. Hello.
Ma'am, you're audible. Please
Audible?
continue.
Okay, so this
You are
CTD,
audible.
okay, it is submitted in CD form or pen drive, then it is CTD. Okay, when it is electronically filed on the portal, then it is known as eCTD format. And eCTD is basically it's the format that is used is not PDF, it is XML format. So means the filing will be like CTD. You must have heard a terminology ACTD also. ACTD is basically guidelines. It is similar to topic suggest. I'll be telling you more about the nitty-gritty of regulatory aspects. You see, we say we are filing in CTD format. CTD doses are required. CTD doses are required. Fine, CTD dossier will be provided. Now, but then also there is a difference from country to country. You know, documents are technically filed. Everything is there, but the regulation in each country are different. I'll like to give some examples from. Like take for example, in Nigeria, starting from Africa, in Nigeria, you filed a dossier, everything is there. Then once the product is registered, they in the packing, when you are selling the product in the pack shot, they are insisting on having NAFDAC registration number imprinted on the packs. Okay, they are also insisting that on your tablet, in order to stop that counterfeiting stuff, they are insisting that your tablet should be embossed, and one side the initials of your company should be there, and on another side the strength of the dosage should be there, like it is 250 mg or 500 mg, so that there is no counterfeiting. So that is very much prominent in Nigeria. Without that, they are not accepting, they are not allowing you to market your products. In French West Africa, obviously it's French speaking, so English and French language of packing material is required, very much required. Then if you must have noticed, in the pack shots there is liste 1 and liste 2 printed. Okay, liste 1 means it is a product which has to be sold with prescription only. So in a red box it will be written that it is prescription owned medicines only, and if it is listed too, it will be also prescription, but then it is like listed too is like the product which are for chronic medicine like cancer and all, it's like that. So there are different categories. If at all it is OTC product, it will be a blue box written on the medicine. So all these things are there. English artwork definitely is okay with most of the part of Africa, but in French West Africa you have to be mandatory having dual language, which is French and English, in DRC as well. But other part of Africa, English is all right. In South Africa, you cannot be an MA holder until and unless you have your own offices in the country. So that is the thing. Then you cannot file your dossiers with your own B. You have to have a CDP as well, which is comparative dissolution profile attached study attached with your dossiers, which is as against the South African innovator. So this is
Shubhra ma'am,
yes,
your presentation is not visible.
But I'm not showing any presentation.
Okay.
I'm talking.
Continue.
Okay, so that these are some of the prominent features that you will see in Africa. If I come to Southeast Asia, countries like Vietnam is like one manufacturing company can register their molecule. It means only one brand name will be there, one molecule will be there. Same is applicable in Cambodia. If I talk about Sri Lanka and Myanmar, they will not allow you to to file the dossiers if at all it doesn't have a stability data which completes their full shelf life. If you have accelerated stability data of 6 months, means accelerated to 12 months or 24 months, they will not allow you until and unless you have stability data of your full shelf life. They with you in your dossiers, they will not allow you. So these are small things, but it does matter when you are filing the dossier and you are planning to launch your product in these countries. Now, talking about Malaysia, CDP is very much required. Then in Malaysia, BE specific audit is required for your CRO. Wherever you have performed your BE for your product, they will come for CRO inspection, and then if at all the CRO passes, then only you will be allowed to file those dossiers. Then in Thailand, local BE is very much required. You will have to do a local BE income of your products, and then whatever studies they are compiled and done, then only you can file the dossiers. Okay, so they in Southeast Asia, these are some regulations. In Philippines, baby CPR, a concept of baby CPR, which is not anywhere in the world, at least as far as I know. But there is one mother brand, and then that mother brand can have many offspring, like many children's, like one molecule, and can be sold in different brand names, but the manufacturing site will be one only. Okay, so this is the concept of baby CPR, which is applicable in Philippines. Now, if I come to Southeast Asia, come to CIS countries and Russia, CIS countries and Russia, without BE, you cannot file any dossier. That is the benchmark for CIS countries. You will have to have a BE to file dossiers. Then they are very, very stringent on and very strict about your pharmacovigilance system in place. They will definitely have a section in dossier which talks about your PSOR and RMP, which is evaluated and is essential part of your dossiers. So, and local QPPV has to be there wherever you want to market your brand. So they are very alert about the pharmacovigilance stuff. So this, and as I told, without B, nothing can be filed in these places. You can be MA holder, you cannot be also MA holder, but most of the time in these countries, in Russia and CIS, you can be the MA holder. You don't need to have your local offices in those countries, like this South Africa and all. Now, if I talk about Middle East and Africa, MENA region, there they have a liking of whatever you have in US and Europe, you are able to file. They are happy if you are having US and Europe product, and except Iraq and Yemen, people in Middle East actually prefer whatever you have in US and EU. They are okay with those medicines, and they will give you approval for that. Then one more thing which is not in any part of the world, which is applicable in Middle East and Africa, is the price is monitored by MOH. There is a capping on the price. You just cannot give away, means charge anything on that. MOH is actually regulating the price. So they will give you a price certificate, and accordingly you will have to sell that medicine in that price only. Now, if I come to Latin American countries, Latin American countries are also very stringent. Here the best part is they have their own country guidelines. Okay, so there is a table of content. You have to arrange the dossier in that format only. It is more or less like CTD only, because if every documents are there in CTD, you will not find any hassle of arranging the documents in their table of content. So it's like you have to arrange the dossiers that way. And then in Central American countries like Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua and all, you don't need B to file your dossiers. Okay, so they do without BE as well, and within 6 to 8 months you get registrations as well. But similarly in Latin American countries like Brazil and Mexico, they are very stringent, and Brazil and Chile though are like you'll have to have a Anvisa approved BE. wherever they tell you will have to in the lab, then you'll have to have a B inside the country. So in Brazil, if you want to file the dossiers, you will have to have a local B in comparison to the Brazilian innovator, and then only you will be able to file your dossiers. And in Mexico, it is like you can if you have a B in comparison to Mexico innovator, fine. Else you'll have to have a local B. So these are they definitely recognize in visa stuff. They in Latin America, they recognize your US approval, US FDA approval, and EU approval, but simultaneously they also want their approvals, like Latin American in visa, TGA, and those PICS countries approval. They definitely acknowledge. So and this basically. As I told, these are common, not very, these are the different aspects actually, which we have to keep in mind while filing the dossiers. And this can only come if you are regularly in touch with the regulatory guidelines and all. And regulatory people have to be very alert. They have to be directly interacting with the regulatory consultant and the partners, the distributor, and the sales and marketing team. In Latin American countries, you cannot be MA holder unless you have your own local offices there. And then all the artworks and everything are in Spanish language only. So if you have the capability to translate, you can do it. Else you are dependent on the consultant. They are the people who actually guide you. If there is any dossier gaps, they will tell you. They will compile your dossier. They will translate your dossier in Spanish. And that's the way actually it is filed. So it is not direct filing from our side. You'll be sharing your soft copy and they will be evaluating, sharing the gaps with you. You have to fill those gaps, and then probably they will be filing it. That time during the filing, the samples are not required actually. It is not required. But in Africa, in Southeast Asia, everywhere samples are required, and it is required in a huge quantity, not just two tablets and two sample packs. It will be in French West Africa. It starts from 50 packs to 150 bottles of suspensions and all. So these are all nitty-gritties we need to keep in mind while we are exploring these markets actually.
Praveen, unmute.
Sorry, I'm sorry. So thank you, Subraji. It was really good learning, and many new things also we come to know. Like best is baby CPR of Philippines.
Yes.
This is uniqueness of Philippines, which even recently I also come to know. But yes, today I'm very clear like what is baby CPR.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. We'll just take a few questions before moving ahead. Since beginning we are talking about dossier, registration, marketing authorization holder. So how this marketing authorization holder really play an important role in business?
Marketing authorization holder has a big responsibility. They are the people, if you are a marketing authorization holder, you are liable for safety, efficacy, and quality of the product. Safety when it is administered to the patient, it should be effective, and the quality of the product should be maintained. So marketing authorization holder, if you are a marketing authorization holder, means you have to own the responsibility of all these three things. Okay, so safety, efficacy, and quality. Then within the life cycle of that product, if at all there is any quality complaint coming up, any recalls are happening, any defects have happened, anything has happened, you will have to take the ownership. So it is always advisable for marketing authorization holder to keep on checking their quality of their goods, what they are supplying in the international market, and they have to keep up to the expectation of the registered product which a patient is taking with a lot of hope. So they have to be every time very alert what they are marketing. So if they are not alert, and if something adverse event has happened and something has happened, probably they will get blacklisted. So once the product is registered and you are the MA holder, you have to be means very alert. in the market to keep up. It's basically it's a company's molecule, so company name and the product name both matters actually. So okay, and in case if we are not the marketing authorization holder, like in South Africa we cannot be marketing authorization holder, in Latin American countries you cannot be, still you have a responsibility of taking because you have supplied the mill and you're not the marketing authorization, but the manufacturing site is you only. Okay, you have developed the formula, you are sending it abroad, it is getting marketed, so many people are taking it. So if anything is happening related to product, you are actually responsible. Okay, so it's like that. So you'll have to own this.
True. Mr. Arjun from Facebook, he is willing to know if one organization is third-party manufacturer, means he has taken product from somewhere and he has gone for registration. In such situation, marketing authorization holder he should be, or he should keep as he should work as a consultant, and marketing authorization should be a manufacturer only.
No,
what you suggest?
No, he can also be a marketing authorization holder, because he is just allowing us to manufacture his product as a contract manufacturing. Okay, so we will be just manufacturing his product, and then he'll be registering the product. So if he is registering the product, he can be the marketing authorization holder. If he wants us, means the person who is manufacturing to be the marketing authorization holder, means the person who is actually marketing authorization holder is a party to all the success, means whatever profit is there, means he'll be taking. So if you want to keep your baby with you, it's just you be the marketing authorization holder, but definitely the agreement can always be in place. Then if at all any quality agreement, anything comes up, quality complaint or anything comes up, so the agreement, technical agreement between you and the party should be like that we will be responsible, and we will be dealing with all the corrective action plans and all in action. Okay, so but you should be the marketing authorization holder in my this.
Great.
In specific cases, thank you, Subra, for explaining this. In specific cases, it is the applicant of the registration dossier who decides who will hold the registration. So if even without being a manufacturer, if you are the applicant because you are the exporter, so you hold the registration in your favor. There is no problem about it. But in that case, you will have to establish the relationship, your relationship with the manufacturer, by producing the agreement between both.
Yes, right.
Thank you, sir. Livia from Philippines, she is willing to know, like from Philippines there is less exporter for pharmaceuticals market, and they have plan, as they have one manufacturing unit. So in such situation, they are not very good setup for dossier. Are the outsourcing dossier would be enough for them, or they should make one own setup for that?
Can you repeat again what she wants to know?
One pharmaceutical company is there in Philippines. They do not have any good dossier team who prepare dossier. So in such situation, outsourcing the dossier which has been taken from outsource, is that okay, or they should start setting their own team?
Initially they can always have dossier out licensing, in licensing they can buy. There are very good quality dossiers available, and people are willing to sell at a good amount, so they can always go ahead with in licensing of dossiers, not an issue. But eventually if you have to go long run, you should have your own R&D, you should have your own regulatory team. That always supports, that always helps actually. But initially you can always, because there are lot many regulatory agencies who are outside regulatory agencies who are compiling a good dossier for you, and they will be giving you a good basically services. And there are many companies who are willing to sell their dossiers there, and for them it will be dossier out licensing. but for us means if you are taking, it will be dossier in licensing. Okay, for somebody it will be out licensing, it for you it will be in licensing. So to initially to start with, you can go for in licensing, but then in for future, basically you should have your own regulatory team.
To add to her, sorry, even if the outsourced dossier is there, the raw data is being supplied by the manufacturer. On the basis of this, the regulatory consultant is preparing the dossier. But when it is going to be sent to the authority, there are certain details in the dossier which has to be done by the company itself, like putting their logo, putting the page mark in sequence, and listing them. Ultimately, the company is the applicant. So there should be one or two persons right from the beginning to do all these nitty-gritties, so that later on they can maintain the continuity of any communication coming from the ministry.
Yeah.
So there should be a sale of one or 2%, 3%. That's besides the point. But there should be a monitoring point inside the company, even if it is outsourced. Am I right, Subra? Subra, it is right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
We have picked some more questions. Like during discussion, the word has been used SPC and PIL. So we would like to, get some brief information on that or differences, if possible.
Okay. SPC is basically, which is known as SMPC in Europe. SPC is special product characteristics, which talks about the medicinal products property. Okay, which is a technical document, and it is for the medical fraternity. It is part of the dossier as well in the administrative document, and it is 15 to 20 pages. It talks about the everything about the medicinal, the products that you will be like registering. Okay, so but PIL is abridged information made from this SPC only. PIL is patient informative leaflet, basically. Okay, this document is you can see it inside the pack shots, the small abridged information that is made from the SPC only, and then it talks about the contradiction, warning, then and you don't have to take with this medicine, that medicine. In pregnancy you should not take. So this is just for the patient education, but SPC is actually for the doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and the medical team and the ministry, where people, health regulators. This is not for general, but PIL is for patient education. Okay,
Great. The most important question, because viewers, since beginning, whenever we have entered in pharma industry, our first trainer has said, what is my benefit? So people are learning, that is one thing, but definitely they would like to know, like, who can join a regulatory team? What is criteria? What is educational criteria? Experience is really mandatory, or how? So could you please let us know, at least the viewers who can understand and they can try to join a regulatory part?
Okay. People who are like graduates, postgraduate in biochemistry, biotechnology, pharmacy, pharmacology, they are the good choice for joining regulatory. They can actually start their career from joining any QC lab or QA lab or the production side or the laboratories. Okay, once they get 1 or 2 years of experience, because that actually gives you idea about how the product is getting prepared in the manufacturing unit. Once you get that idea of 1 or 2 years, you can definitely shift to a regulatory team. And regulatory team, to be in the regulatory team, science background is definitely must, as I told. Then then apart from that, you should have a very good communication skills. You should have a good interpersonal skills as well, because regulatory is one team which has to interact with many departments for many documents. So if you are very stubborn or arrogant, or probably you will not be a good person for that. You will have to gel with every department, and whether it is FND, it is PAC FND, QA, QC. So because you have to get documents from everywhere, so and then compile the dossier. So you'll have to have a good interpersonal skills. You will have to have a very good critical thinking mindset. Then apart from that, one more thing which is very important is you have to have a good time management skills, because once the query comes up during the evaluation, you just cannot ignore that. And these are all time bound activities. So the sooner you respond, the better it is for you. So time management skill, you have 10 dossiers in hand, and out of them, all of a sudden 4 or 5 queries have come from 4 of our different. So you'll have to prioritize all these things, and then you have to respond accordingly. So any good regulatory person should have all these attributes. Science background is must, but those are for junior levels. If you are in clinical research and all, and a higher management position, probably a doctoral degree will help you.
Great, great. Shubraji, we had one session before with one college. So the many questions came from college students. Like in 2020, February 2020, I don't remember the date. One article has came out from Nagpur University. Like there is a big gap between academia and industry. That has been shown 84% gap. Like what students are studying and what is actually industries are practicing. So it's a big gap. So what you personally suggest for students who are still during college, the maybe third year or final year, so what they should concentrate to to get entry in a regulatory team?
Regulatory team. Okay, listen, when you are in college, go by the books, please. But the actual knowledge which comes when you are actually on the field. So the books will be always on the shelf, and not even in marketing also we learn a lot of jargons, marketing pandas, but it all comes when you are actually practicing all those things. So when you get a practical experience, then only you will get the actual knowledge. So right now, since you are in college, go by the books, no worries, no worries. And if your fundas are right, if your process is right, your thought process, whatever if you are a clinical person, like in regulatory, you will have to understand pharmacology and everything, pharmacokinetics and all. So your fundas, your base should be all right, and then you will be able to manage. So not an issue. Well, everything comes with a practical experience. This way cannot be taught in college, for sure. So right now, books will teach you, but later on, experience will teach you, guide you.
Great.
Since last,
sir.
Can I do?
Sir, of course.
Since I am doing the same in Mumbai University now, I just want to give a rejoinder that theory and practice, there is a gap. And to bridge the gap, there is a part called application of theory. That application of theory is done by small short courses, 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, online nowadays, but earlier it was physically done, even now. The person who wants to join that particular segment, marketing or regulatory or quality control, whatever, there are short courses which will sharpen his knowledge and skill towards that particular domain of activity. So one should go into the induction of such courses, and it helps a lot. But apart from that, being associated with a company 6 months without any salary training is also a good exposure. Thank you.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I was on last question. It's from many students, and it's came in bunch. Actually one group is there where I have joined, and we have shared this screen. So they have just one question. It's not related directly to regulatory, but yes, you have 20 years experience, so definitely you can share some input at least. Like most of the companies, they are asking experience. Even the person who is asking about, do you have experience in regulatory? At least 1 year minimum experience we need for as a, as a recruiter or a HR function, or even directly general manager of regulatory. So in such situation, how a student should come up, like they are completely fresh and they do not have any experience, but how they should respond to such interviews, or in such scenario, how they should handle.
Uh, Sir, will you
They, the
answer,
students are,
or I
the
shall
base of
answer?
pharmaceutical industry.
Go ahead.
It's really, and they really want to know, they have to start their career. So we can say this question is from future of pharmaceutical industry.
Okay. If I was a student and I had to answer this question, and then I would have a simple one-liner answer to this, and that is, if you don't give me an exposure, how will I get experience? No one gets experience until you are given a chance.
Right.
So you will have to convince, look, I have a degree, I have everything, but if you give me a job, definitely after 1 year I will have an experience. And unless you don't give me that opportunity, I'll never get an experience. I don't think so that it will be taken in a bad way, and the management will understand. कहीं से तो शुरुआत करेंगे ना.
Right. Thank you so much. It was very nice interactive session, and it was very meaningful input. People will definitely come back with some more questions.
Sure.
We'll go with offline in that, and I'll hand over session to Yashwant sir for further. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shubhra ma'am and Praveen. Wonderful discussion and very good insightful session. Before moving to Sumanta sir, there is one question from my side. Umesh Pratap Singh has asked you, Subhra ma'am, as you told, stability study has to be conducted in some countries. So his question is, who is going to conduct stability study in case of outsourced dossier? The dossier is outside. Yes.
Dossier is outsourced also. Even if we have outsourced the dossiers, like we have bought the dossiers, but then also if you are a good company and if you want to file the dossiers in other part of the world, definitely, because one country will not give you the business. If the same dossier is filed in 5-6 countries, maybe you'll be able to capitalize. So in order to get that the stability, you will have to do the stability. As a company, I'll be doing a 3 batches stability, and that get that data generated and put that data inside the dossier, because you have definitely bought the dossier, but that stability was done somewhere else, so that will not help. So and if you file the dossier with the same stability data and the query comes up, you will not be able to answer them because it was not happening in your labs, so it is always advisable to have your own stability data in those outsourced dossiers.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And thank you, Umesh, for asking this question. Now we go to the next session, and that is none other than Sumanta Chaudhary, sir. So thank you very much for accepting our invite. Before I hand over to Sumanta, sir, for the session, a brief overview. Sir is having 52 years of experience in pharmaceutical industry. He has done graduation in pharmacy and associate of Institute of Chemist India. Not only that, sir was managing director in IPCA Laboratories and vice president export also. He was based at Nigeria. Not only that, in Leica Labs, he was deputy general manager export, and in Pfizer, he was in marketing and material management, personal management job. And before that, he was in Haste Pharmaceutical as a marketing. Currently, sir is engaged as a marketing consultant for last 17 years. Not only that, he is the course coordinator for certificate course of international trade, Africa, particularly in Mumbai University. So we are really humbled and grateful for Sumanta sir to accept our invite. Sir, over to you.
Thank you. First of all, I must thank Shubhra for giving a beautiful background. And I heard even the last session, any layman can also understand the way she has explained. And I am sure many doubts or many lack of clarity, those who have been removed, if they have listened to both the sessions. These are the parameters, these are the basics, and one has to follow. And without that, nobody has been able to enter into the international market. But there are other side ups also. What happens when the dossier is to be given? How, if you have to look at the dossier or the company from the other perspective, from the buyer's perspective, from the country's ministry's perspective, if you look at it, then it's a different story altogether. And we should be more conscious, we should be more aware of those challenges. I would say challenges, because many a time it becomes so difficult that repeatedly back and forth mails go and come back, and we are really frustrated because the regulatory process is not progressing. But why it is not progressing, we should know those small things, which are not really challenges according to me. But if we know beforehand, we can resolve those. My name is Sumanta, Sumanta. But in African country, some people say Samant. Some people say Sumanta, at H they add. Some people even don't add the T at the Suman, they add it. So the same name is being pronounced and viewed, perceived by differently by different persons. It is the same situation at dossier. When it is given to a market, 54 countries in Africa, as for example, are looking at the same dossier in 54 ways. And it is difficult to interpret, attend to all of them, because you can't change the product. You have got one factory, and from that factory, one product called, say, azithromycin is coming out. How can we change the product's character to 54 types? It is not possible. But the requirements, regulatory requirements, are not equal, are not same. And this is the challenge, because it is not harmonized. The way Algeria is asking is not the way South Africa is asking the same dossier. The way Senegal is asking is not the way Ethiopia is asking. It's world apart. And if that is the difference in looking at the same dossier, look at the manufacturer, look at the regulatory backup, how difficult it is to address this if you are not well prepared, if you are not having the proper data with you. This is the challenge we have. And it is not Africa, it is all over the world. It is the same story. So my suggestion is to update ourselves, to prepare ourselves. Things have changed a lot. In 1992, standing on a footpath in Ho Chi Minh City, I prepared 9 dossiers in one night. But today in Vietnam, I don't think anybody can dream of it, because they will first see where from the company, the manufacturer is coming, and what is the dossier. Each and everything is being watched. So this is my humble submission first, before you ask me the questions, that the dossier has to be viewed by different NRAs, national regulatory authorities, and it cannot be same, and you have to address them justifiably and reasonably well with your data. That's all. Yes, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much for sharing this, sir. As you know, there are many aspects of regulatory. So the question is, how does a regulatory authority look at the application for registration, and what do they expect from you? If you can throw some lights on that.
Yeah, I would first of all say that the regulatory process is a standard dictum that if it is not documented, it does not exist. Everything must be in the documented stage. And if we have the data with us, there is no problem in documenting this. But the gap between your data and the document is the issue. And that is why regulatory issues come to us. Now, how do they, your question is, how do they, what are the issues applicant should, your question was, how do the regulatory authorities look at it?
Yes.
Isn't it?
And what they expect?
Yeah. They expect the authenticity. First thing, is it authentic?
Data integrity.
Because you are here and 1,000 miles away, their ministry is there. They have only one media, the document in front of you. And the document that you sent, it is printed. Is it authentic? First thing that will come when you say documentation, it is the authenticity that will come. Second question that will come in their mind is it valid? You might have sent it in the month of November, but they are seeing opening it maybe in the month of February. At that time, is the document valid or it has already expired? And if it has expired, then even if it is authentic, it is not valid. And therefore, authenticity is integral part of validity. You can't avoid both of them. And lastly, if it is authentic, if it is valid, is it credible? Is it credible? Is it believable? We have heard Shubhra has just now told about the modules, the parameters, what are the procedures, everything is understood. But the root of all these procedures, rules, process, at the root, these three questions are basic. Is it authentic? Is it valid? And is it credible? Therefore, we must ensure that these three parameters, these three thumb rules, I would say, are addressed in each document. And if these are addressed, you are through. And since it has not happened, you will never be through. That is the thing they expect from us.
Right, sir. Wonderful, sir. So this is all about authenticity, validity, and credibility. These are the three things they should. Now, another question is that so far the applicant are concerned, according to you, which are the issues for which applicant should take special care? Your opinion on that?
Yes. Let me take it out.
Yes.
Shall I stop sharing? Yeah.
No, sir, it is visible.
No, it's okay. See, I will continue to explain what I have just now said. Shubhra said just now that module 1, the admin documents, as for example. Now the admin documents are the gateways. It is really not part of module 1, but if you don't have the right admin documents, legal documents, you cannot enter module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is impractical. So the first thing that you have to prove that I have got a manufacturing license, I have got a product permission, I have got GMP, I got the free sale certificate and COPP. These documents, have they been authenticated? In the past years, we used to send only Xerox copies. A time came when they said, no more Xerox copies because this is creating problem. And people have done so many things with it. I don't have to mention it here. But since out of ignorance, maybe, I know that it has happened out of ignorance, but Xerox copies were no more valid. They said it must be notarized. So a notarization came into the picture. Then they said, no. Some countries said, no. It must be authenticated by the Ministry of External Affairs, MEA. So you send it to Delhi and get it, or Chamber of Commerce, whatever you do it. Some countries say, no, it is not even your External Affairs Ministry, but it must be my embassy in your country, apostolization. Go Ukraine-like countries. They will say, send this to my embassy in Delhi. They will apostolize this, and then I'll accept it. Look at the criticality. At the beginning, only the authenticity itself is so much elaborate and so much stressful that if you don't address them, then really you don't enter into the gateway. Likewise, the authenticity, when it is established, the question comes validity. You have sent the manufacturing license in November, which is valid till December. But they have opened the dossier in February before the commission started. And at that time, it has expired. What is the point? You have sent the right document and they find an invalid document. The operation is successful, patient is dead. So you really don't end up with a successful submission because it is on time. In India, all the GMPs, WT GMPs end up in December, we all know. But having that particular knowledge, when we are sending, if we are a little cautious, then definitely we should send another supplementary document. Nowadays, drug controls are giving that license is under renewal and it is being considered. Even that has to be notarized. You understand the implication that you are sending a supplementary document which is saying that it is under process, but that also has to be notarized or authenticated. So this kind of validity must be available. If the authentic document has gone and if it is not valid, then there will be delays, there will be back and forth, and maybe in most cases, some cases it is rejected. Shubhra, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Thank you very much, sir. You have given a very nice tip to our viewers, those who are already exporting and those who are trying to enter to the different African countries and global.
I'm coming to one more point. Just allow me to, Ishwan.
Yes.
These are the admin documents, even the actual document model 1, 2, 3, when the analytical method validation is there. And many companies, I agree that it may not be possible to do within the house. They do it outside, but they do it outside and get that printed on the letterhead and they submit it. It is fine. But whether that outside laboratory is also a credible laboratory or it is just doing that job and ultimately it is making you vulnerable, your company vulnerable. So that credibility in terms of process validation, AMV, stability data, everything has to be carefully done. I'm giving another example. See, stability data we were discussing just now. The product has to go from say Bombay to Latin America and some Bolivia, and it has to pass through different temperature zones. Now each temperature zone, 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, 4A and B subdivided, and all that is there. Now I am thinking that it will reach there on time, but it in the middle of the transportation, it might have overstayed for 15-20 days in one port in hot tin roof containers, and then it finally reaches to the destination after about 4 months or 3 months in a situation where there must be rains or whatever. Now, the product must sustain that kind of temperature gradient and relative humidity gradient. This is 21 degrees, say in zone 4, 30 degrees Celsius and 75 degrees relative humidity. But in Sudan, it is 85%. So that kind of exposure, if it is visualized, then your product must be good enough to sustain that kind of stress in atmosphere. Many a time it has happened, discolored ibuprofen, spotted paracetamol tablets after 6 months. After landing the product, after clearance of the product, 3 months later, spotted paracetamol. It has happened. Has it not happened? This is reason is that we must visualize the temperature zone it passes through, and whether it is final temperature and relative humidity is complying or not, that's not important. It is passing through different zones, and we must, as a manufacturer, it is our responsibility to take care of that. That is why when I said authenticity, validity, product must be valid, product must be effective in terms of quality. But if it raises so much of doubts in the mind of the customer or the ministry, then there'll be no end to it. I think I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Very much valid point you told. And this is all about the three aspects and stability data being very crucial. Sir, one more question. According to your opinion, what is the regulatory way forward? What is the way ahead you are able to visualize?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Yes.
Before that, I have one more point to mention.
Okay.
I should share with the kind of observations they make.
Yes.
And
example.
I mean, already she has mentioned, but one or the other. They say, provide summary of product characteristic, SPC, with a list of assignments, well-formulated phrases and dosage according to innovator. You understand?
Yes.
Supposing you have taken fexofenadine, so they will go to the innovator and say, follow his product information leaflet and see that, yeah, you have to do something like that. This is an observation from Africa. I'm giving a direct observation what they are saying. Provide leaflet with list of excipients. Provide dosage in accordance with the innovator and well-informed phrases. You have to give the phrases matching that innovator way. You should not do something else. Provide drug master file of the active substances. API, drug master, DMF you have to give. The African countries, ROW countries are asking this nowadays. Provide names of the manufacturers of the active ingredients. One who has manufactured the active ingredient, you have to give their names also. They want to lock the route so that you don't change the manufacturer every time and then you create a quality problem. Provide identities of the manufacturer of the excipients also. Provide validation. These are all from the notifications from the ministry directly came only about 15 days back. Provide validation of the in-house method of controlling the finished product. Provide contract between the applicant and the manufacturer. Just now I mentioned if he is a merchant exporter and he's the applicant and he says everywhere when they open the document they find manufacturer's name, but nowhere they find the applicant's name. So they will have a question. What is your relationship with the manufacturer? Provide data on the quality of each of these active substances, description, the symptoms, the packing, specification, stability, all separately. Provide bioequivalence studies. These are all observations, the notifications that are coming from different ministries. It is not the small company, big company, small country, big country. This has become a part of the CTD ROW market and we have to be mentally, systematically, we should be prepared for it. Gone are those days when it would happen just like that, submitting this, not so. Things are changing and that's why I am alerting by repeated seminars and by repeated on presentations that we have the capability. There is no doubt about it. But we must be aware of that there is a need and where we should correct. These are the areas where we should do this. Yes, please go ahead.
Wonderful, sir. Really very insightful. And it is a comprehensive data. If anyone who wants to export and create business, if he keeps this checklist in the mind, so a lot of time can be saved. Repeated documentation sending can be saved and he will be able to enter to the market very fast. Really very thankful that you have shared this. Sir, one more question as I asked. According to you, what is the way forward? What is the way forward you see for the regulatory future prospect? If you can throw some light.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead with that also. One second. Regulatory way forward is, first thing is the correct market survey, online or physical, for price and potential. First of all, select the product correctly and see that at the end of the year, you are selling only 500 boxes or 5,000 boxes. See that your price is way above the market price. You might have a dream of earning multi-million-dollar, but the market doesn't support that. So without doing that exercise, if you straightway go into selecting the market products, it will be a pandemonium. It will be a mistake. It will be a mistake. So the correct market survey, and it should be done physically by going to the market, not exactly remote or online. Online is sometimes possible, partly possible, but physically it gives. You have to take the photograph of the barcode of the backside on the product. There you will find the public price is written. And if you calculate backward, you will find what is the export price. And that is the way one should arrive at what price I should fix it. If you know the 3 competitors' price from the pack, then you will come to know what should be my price. And is it a product that will give me some money, or it is just 1 or 2 boxes at the end of the year? So correct market survey is the key issue. The second issue is the selection of the right molecule. As just now I covered, that molecule should be relevant. It should not be such that nobody is bothering about it or nobody prescribes it. And I have got tremendous stress on that particular product that I must say. It's not like that. You have to go by the market. That's why now the concept has come called market minus. Market minus means you have to see the market, come backward and decide what product market is saying, not what I am saying. Finally, the selection of the right agent, which is always the key, because if he is not the right person to help me, if he is giving wrong information, or if he is saying everything fine, no problem at the beginning, and later on we find everything is a problem, then he is the problem. So that's how we have to select the right person. And Indians have a tendency to land, and who comes to receive me must be an Indian, who takes me to Indian dinner, and I become happy about it. No, it's not always so. The local country people who are the knowledgeable people who has got the control on the market, they are the person who should be. It is not always Indian export or Indian agent. There should be local, and we should be unbiased about selecting the right agent.
Actually, I'd like to support Sumanta sir. Yes, if it is a local regulatory consultant, it always helps you. Basically, they are the people who know the regulatory guidelines, and they will guide you further. That is their part of job. They will never misguide you unless they are just doing the business just like that. But they will also not like to lose the client. So it is always good to have a local regulatory partners who are able to translate for you in a good way, and they are amicable. They are the people who will actually analyze your dossier and help you to fill the gaps. Sometimes it so happens you are not able to manage with the documents, and you have in bits and pieces the documents, but they are the people who will actually coordinate with you and put them in a right way actually. So local regulatory partners are must. We should not be like dependent only on our fellow citizens who are like based out there.
That's true. That's true.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And thank you, sir. Really insightful session.
Yeah. Something more is that we must have the updated information about the regulatory norms of the country. It is changing. Yes. Sometimes we find some products are banned. They have announced a blacklisted product that these products will not be allowed to be registered anymore. But I have already prepared the dossier. So the updated knowledge must be there, and to do the updated knowledge, the most important thing is the training of the regulatory personnel, marketing personnel, online. Every time it is an ongoing process. It's a dynamic process. If we are not trained, if we are not updated, we'll land into wrong decisions, and that is where we will go wrong.
In fact, regulatory people are supposed to be updated about each and every regulatory guidelines of the country. But the sales and marketing people who are actually on the field, they should be knowing all about what is happening in the market, and which molecule is growing, which molecule is banned, which molecules are no longer in existence. So they are the right people to convey this to the company, and then regulatory team will get to know, and then they will not prepare the dossier if at all there is no market for the product. It is unnecessarily wastage of time basically. So marketing and sales people,
I think there is a technical problem from Shubhara ma'am, but very rightly you shared, sir, 4 tips you have given. One is correct market survey. selection of right molecule, and also that is partnering with the right regulatory partner in the local authority who is having a neck of the market there and who can support you. And last but is not least, updated knowledge of that country, what is happening, which molecules are moving, which are not. These are the 4 points you
Because
told, and which are very relevant.
these systems are constantly changing.
Yes,
they are changing their rules almost every 6 months. Like the newer version of mobile phone comes and the older version gets outdated, something like that. So we should be always updated with the latest developments of the regulatory of that country.
Great, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we have some questions from our viewers in Facebook and YouTube. And before that, I would like to recognize some of the participants who are actively participating in Facebook and YouTube in chat box, also appreciating your session. Mr. Thangapandian, thank you very much, Thangapandian. Mr. Rajesh Dubey, he has appreciated the session, both the session. Mr. Pankaj Srivastav, he is our core team member. Thank you very much, Pankajji. Sandeep Bidwai, sir. Umesh Pratap Singh, thank you very much, Umesh. Naman Aditya, and our own Bhaskar Chakravarti sir, who was the last week speaker. Thank you very much, Bhaskar da. He's from Bangalore and he has also appreciated the session. Dr. Satish Polsettiwar and Mr. Arumugam Arashan. Thank you very much. Nasiruddin Chisti. Thank you very much, all of you, to appreciate the session and talking more good about that. The first question I am able to see is from Mr. Sailesh Kapadia. And he is sharing his experience that many companies in Canada ask me to that don't have Canadian experience and got rejected despite 18 years of experience in pharma. So that is what he has shared. Even he is in Canada and 18 space, people have rejected. That he has shared. Bhaskar Chakravarti says, brilliant speaker and congratulations to Life Pharma Coalition. Thank you, Bhaskar, for your appreciation. Over to Praveen if he's having some more questions from Facebook, YouTube.
Not question. One gentleman from Mumbai, he is looking after business development international. He has just shared his experience when we were talking about fresher, experienced person in pharma industry. So he has shared, like, I got call from one big company, one of top 5 pharma company, but they were looking for veterinary product experience. So my response to HR was, sir, whatever it is fine. Being a salesman, I should never worry about territory and products, because end of the day, my customer will be human only. It will not be buffalo. So hardly matters it's a veterinary product or formulations. But they got remarks, sir, you are over smart, you are not eligible for our criteria. Thank you so much. So this is one. And many still questions are coming, but we have shorted our time. And I'll just hand over session to Yaswant sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Praveen. It's a really nice learning session. It is really a lot of insight Sumanta sir and Shubhra madam has shared. Our viewers are really benefited, and we are really thankful and humble to both the speakers for sharing their insight very transparently, openly. And viewers, thank you very much. Those who could not see live, our recorded version is always there in YouTube. So anytime you have, you can go to YouTube and type LPC-95. The recorded version of episode will be available to you. It is a big repository we have developed. Each and every episode is recorded, uploaded here. So it will be, you can go through that and get the insight, the relevant information. So thank you very much. Before again closing, I would like to take closing remarks from both the speakers. Sir, how do you find our this platform and your key message to our viewers? Sumanta sir.
First of all, I thought I'll be saying something, telling something, but I found I'm learning a lot.
Wow.
So this is a learning platform for me. My message to the viewers is that keep on attending the sessions continuously, and out of the ocean, you will be definitely able to pick up the pearls. There's no doubt about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Subhra madam, over to you for closing remarks.
In fact, let me first thank you, LPC, for giving me the chance. And thank you, Sumanta sir. It was a great learning experience. In fact, you are very senior in the industry. It was really a pleasure that to an honor basically to share the platform with you and learn a lot. I have learned something in past few years, which I am imparting today. And it is, believe me, it is an immense pleasure. And to actually tell something which I have learned during the course of my career. Okay. And in future also, if given a chance, definitely I'd like to impart more on this. And you guys are doing a great job. I'm learning. And it's basically learning, imparting learning. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Sumanta
Thank
sir.
you, everyone.
We look forward to both of you again in LPC with some different topic.
Sure.
Right, in different session. It is really a learning. We are always most welcome. Suggest us how to take it forward. And for the viewers, thank you very much, viewers, for your active participation, appreciating the session. As I told, a reminder, very shortly we are going to have the 100th episode on 20th March 2022. It is a big event for us, and we invite you all. We invite you all to join.
Physically, where it is going to be held?
It is in Mumbai, but it will be a hybrid model. Physical, those who are in Mumbai and nearby Mumbai, they can join physically, and those who are outside the Mumbai, by online, they will be able to attend. Because some of our speakers, some of our core team members are out of India. So they could not come just for the session, but the hybrid model, they will be able to connect virtually the way we are connecting virtually. So they will be able to connect. Their episode will be virtually. Other episode, we are trying to make it physical. So all are invited to become a part of LPC as a moderator, as a panelist, as a mentor, as a registered member to learn and grow, and also as a speaker. So connect with us and we will take it forward. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Praveen, for brilliantly hosting the session. And that is it from our side. And at the end, we would like to thank our digital partner, Imagica Health, for the sponsorship support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yashwant. Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you,
sir.
everyone.
It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And the Imagica Health team.
Yeah, Imagica people. Thank you.
Good day to everyone.
Same to you guys. Bye-bye.